banned substances, so they stay clean.
Well, let me clear the air on this. Mickey Bey, a doctor gave him something. A doctor gave him something, and the doctor admitted to making a mistake by giving him something. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was sick at a particular time, and the doctor gave him something. So that's cleared up, for the record. And with Jalen Love, he had problems making weight, which I feel that's showing a sign of not being disciplined and dedicating yourself like a true champion. So I had to talk with him like that. So he got in trouble for dietary supplements.
Right.
So not enhancement drugs, but dietary supplements that someone gave him. So once again, that's what they did. Once again, Floyd Mayweather is a clean athlete. I'm gonna continue to be a clean athlete. I'm gonna continue to go out there and preach about doing everything clean and being on an even playing field. It's the only thing I can say about that situation.
Let me touch on that further. By no means, no way that myself or Floyd condone these kind of things. Floyd has he's been a great example, being the face of the sport and being a pioneer when it comes to these kind of things. Internally, we put in some measures that are in place where we're going to make all our fighters go through random blood and urine, 365, 24/7. Because, like I said, these are the kind of things that are unacceptable, however they come about. And Floyd will continue to lead the way and to continue to educate the fighters in any way he can. So that's, those are the measures that we put in place internally.
And that's why I asked Floyd.
Y'all done added some more gloves.
He had to be disappointed. I mean, even though one was a diuretic, one was a...
Every time I go to a city,
you got a doctor screwed up on it. You're going to have to go before the commission. So that's why I was asking Floyd.
He has a hearing this week. But by no means, no way that we condone those kind of things, and we took drastic action internally, which I won't go in detail about, but for the public to know that Mayweather Promotions fighters will be tested 365, 24/7.
Hey, with these blue, we're gonna have to get a silver.
It doesn't dry fast. They got messed up last time.
We're gonna get a silver.
Leonard, who will conduct the testing for you? Who will conduct the testing for you?
The same organization, the first-class organization that we've been working with.
USADA.
What did you think of Canelo's performance against Austin Trout?
I think that he got the victory, but I think it was a lot closer than they had it. And once again, like I said before, they need to clean the sport up, because as far as with the scoring, I wasn't impressed. And I think that Trout has never been in a fight with a crowd so huge before, so I think that it was a lot of pressure on him. And when he got knocked down, I think sometimes if a fighter has never been down before, I don't have to say this. I'm not saying this like I've been down before, but I'm saying this from my experience in the sport. I feel like that with him being knocked down, or with him getting hit with the bigger shots, he thought that, and the crowd screaming every time the guy threw a shot, he thought it was a lot larger than what it really was. And I think the fight was a lot closer than what they had it. Yeah. Because I feel like I feel like Trout was the busier fighter, and I feel like Canelo was landing the bigger shots.
Do you think that open scoring sort of screwed him up too? I mean, they were announcing the scores at the, or at least telling his corner what the scores were after a few rounds.
Like I said before, we need to clean the sport up. I wasn't impressed like the other day with the Paulie and Broner. When they talk about split decision, it wasn't right. I'm saying from what I've seen. I can go by from what I see.
Right.
I guess from what everybody else see, they have a different vision, and I can't see. And I like Paulie, but I can't see how he was getting upset. And once again, what I don't want these fighters doing is pointing fingers at Richard Schaefer or pointing fingers at Al Heyman. You go to the boxing gym, You do your job, the results is what they're going to be.
Well, why is it so important to you to clean up boxing? I mean, you've established yourself as the main man. You could make all your money and go on, but you seem to be really concerned about the sanctioning bodies, etc.
I mean, because I feel like, you know, in a business-wise, you say, okay, I get a sanctioning fee from Trout, I get a sanctioning fee from Mayweather, and I get a sanctioning fee from Canelo. It's not right. I don't mind paying my sanctioning fees like any other fighter, but if I'm the champion, all this super champion stuff, I'm totally against it. You know, I honestly feel that Canelo is the WBC champion, and Floyd Mayweather is the WBA champion. I'm also the WBC champion at welterweight. You know, fair is fair, and he done his job against Trout. Like I said before, I thought the fight was a lot closer, but as far as, like I said before, steroids and enhancement drugs, we need to clean that up. We need to clean these judges and the scoring up. And like I said before, a lot of things we need to clean up in the sport. And
you think that'll make it more popular? You think that brings it back into the mainstream, back into the focus a little bit more?
I think that, but one thing about Showtime, they're very, very positive. Whereas you got the commentators on the other side, where you got fighters fighting that's representing the company and they talking negative about the fighter. So only thing that can do is bring the sport down.
Well, do you think that the judges are dishonest or incompetent or both?
I mean, I think there's a little bit of favoritism sometimes. I'm saying, far as with, if you got a fighter that's from, we're gonna say just Kansas City, and you got a judge that's from Kansas. Of course, I think he's gonna lean a little bit towards the guy. The reason why is because it's not like this. Sometimes you got parents, and I talk about this all the time. See, me, I'm a little different from a lot of parents. If my child is in the wrong, I'm gonna tell my child, you're in the wrong. Whereas a lot of times, if a person's child is in the wrong, and you tell them like your child is in the wrong, they don't like you to tell them that their child is in the wrong. And it's no different. It's kind of like favoritism, because a lot of times people don't feel like their child could do anything wrong until they get in the system. And then they find out, you know what? And then they find out, oh yeah, my child was wrong.
Tim, you and Leonard, and everybody here knows that you are the face of boxing. You're the man of boxing. And you talk about you don't get you to do it. How much similar to Ali is that? You think because of your personality, your religious beliefs, jealousy, you're African American? You know, why can't you get you to do it?
I think a lot of times I think people feel like a person is. I'm humble because I know where my blessings come from when it's all said and done. Humble has nothing to do with because a fighter is quiet. I think a lot of times fighters don't really want to say fighters don't speak up and say what they really want to say, because they know they're not gonna really take a bad lashing from the outcome if they really don't say too much before the fight. Whereas if a guy talks, if he speaks out and speak his honest opinion, give his honest opinion, there's gonna be a lot of backlashing if he take a L.
Floyd, the last time you fought an undefeated fighter was Ricky Hatton. So, what challenges do you get from fighting a fighter who's never tasted defeat, or is hungrier than most?
I just feel like the thing with Floyd Mayweather is really not what a guy's record is, because if you really want to talk about it, Guerrero went back. He had a loss, but he went back and beat the guy, so we can say he was undefeated. So I don't really go in there looking at a guy's record, because me myself, I can adapt and I can make adjustments. And so whatever a guy, whatever the best thing my opponent brings to the table, I feel like I can do it better.
Well, you got a chance to watch the Guerrero fight?
No. I seen it a couple times. I could be better.
Champ,
hang on. You say you could be better? It was one of your best performances. What areas could you be better for this?
I know me, I'm my biggest critic.
All right,
it's always room